Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Good, I hope. Tis the time for the book club. We will now read the books to the people. It's very sunny today. Can you guys even see? My gosh. I don't know what that voice was about. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize. I can't even help myself some of the time. Like, we're going to Germany. Why was I using a French accent? Makes no sense. Why the French accent? Why, I ask you? Why? Why does she do it? We don't understand. There is no explanation for the weird things that she does. But she will make coffee every morning regardless. Regardless of all that. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Morning. Oh, Ray, did you change your user icon? Because it looks different. I recognize that it is new. Hey, Jen. Hey, Anya. Hey, everybody. As we are all joining in. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Morning, Danielle. Long time no see in book club. How you doing? How's everyone? Do you guys want to see what Shira made me, you guys? Hold on. She made me these delicious, like, homemade bars that I can actually have. They're like little like oatmeal cookies almost, but not cookies. And they're so good. I think I'm gonna eat one right now. Because why not, right? And they have all this stuff in them that's like really good for baby and everything too. They're so yummy. I shared a TikTok on my profile and I did. That's fair. That's totally fair. Sorry. I'm a mess. She made me 2 boxes on them and take one on the plane. That's fair, right? Yeah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Delicious. I hardly ever get to have yummy treats like that. Ugh, disgusting, Ray. I drop off with minimal tears this morning. Hey, you're making progress. But the question is, Liz, minimal tears from both sides? You know what I mean? Whoosh. I just realized you guys can't see how beautiful it looks. It's yummy. I didn't cry at all today. Hey, that's great. That's big progress. Hey, Mina. This is the second time I've gotten dahlias, and the second time they've unalived with us. That is very sad. Hey guys, morning. I'm eating a little homemade oatmeal bar thing that Shira made for me. It was pretty exciting. It's very delicious. I love it. It's like nuts and oats and dates. Oh my god, Amanda, that's heartbreaking. Shira made her own cashew butter to make these. Can you believe that? I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the dahlias. No, you should ask Grace or Tressa or Shira. They're all very good with plants. I'm not really good with plants. I only just have the Monstera and that other one. I'm off work because I had a tiny procedure done. Uh-oh. What was it? Or, well, you don't have to say if you don't want to say on here, but are you okay? Was it serious, or? Yeah? Oh, okay. That's fair, Danielle. Well, that's not too bad then, right? Like, it's not like something that's like life-threatening or whatever. I want poppies, but Hermione ruined it for you? Or heroin ruined it for you? I mean, it could have been Hermione. You don't know, Sophie. Oh. I saw the space, and I realize now that you did that because of community guidelines. But I thought maybe it was supposed to be Hermione. Isn't B in pre-K, right? He's a little bitty. Isn't he 4? I think he's pre-K. Or am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Alright, I'm just gonna finish this and then we're gonna read, I promise. Yeah, she's love seeing all your damn flowers. Yeah. Thank you for the cup compliment, and I will answer Mina's question about Samuele. I love the cup too, Emery. There we go. The Slumu LA location is very, very nice. What I would say is that it is extremely polished. To anyone who's been to the one in New York, I mean, I spent a countless amount of hours at the one in New York, and it's like a different world almost in this one. It's so polished, so well put together comparatively, because, you know, we learned a lot from putting the other one together, and they took those things and they improved upon them, I think, in a good way. I wish that the New York location would get the benefit of that knowledge. Hello to Alabama. But I know it would take a lot to change the things that are already at the New York location. But I was talking to my former bosses when I was there, and I was like, dang, this is so nice. And one of my bosses was like, can you imagine if you and I had had the funds that we had to put this together when we were putting New York together, what we would have done? And I was like, man, that's so true. And it's nice that they feel that way, that they were like, you know, we did the best with what we had. Like, they don't look at New York and go, oh, we failed. They look at it and they go, well, the three of us did the best with what we could, you know? And I feel positive about that. But they obviously have a lot more going on now, which is great. I'm glad I'm not working there. I'm glad I can just go as a guest. It's much nicer that way for me. Sorry, I have the hiccups, as always. But yeah, it's real pretty, real pretty. And you know what? How close is it to you? It's about 30 minutes away, but in LA, that doesn't really mean much. It's maybe like 10 miles. It's over by the Grove, the really famous mall. The one that had that Taylor Swift pop-up during Torture Poets, same mall. It's multiple stories, and it's just, they fixed a lot of the things that caused us a lot of bottlenecks, which I think is great. You know, and the party rooms are beautiful, and everything is clean. Really nice. I'll have a lot of videos. I'm gonna try to do some side-by-side comparison videos of like, this is what the XYZ looks like in New York, and this is what XYZ looks like in LA, you know, kind of, because I know a lot of people have had a lot of questions. So I'm gonna try to, real quick before we start, just so everyone knows, the author of the book that we are reading is not able to come to meet with us this week due to her schedule. She had a convention this past week and work all this week. So she and I are putting something together for the first week of October when I get back from the trip. I know that it's hard because we want to talk to her right now because we're like in the height of the book and everything, but we have to be respectful of her schedule, of course. So we are still putting something together, but it is going to be the first week of October. But that means I'll be able to poll everyone on good times. Like if she gives me a couple of times, I'll see what works for everybody. And I think it's fine. I don't think we're gonna forget how much we enjoyed the book in 2 short weeks, you know? So that's totally fine. But that does mean, I think we're gonna finish this on Thursday probably. So that means Friday, we could spend Friday like looking for a new book. Friday morning, like we can use that time to like read through some, you know, blurbs and stuff and see what we find that's interesting to us. I downloaded just the one that Naisa found the other day. Looks cute, but I want to get some, you know, some more options for us, if you will. And that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. If anyone didn't know, Roll for Slime is tonight, and it is the last one in the month of September. So if you are owed a Roll for Slime, a group Roll for Slime, or a birthday or anything, tonight's your night. Fair warning. All right, so we are on chapter, I was legit glad I found it because it was free and sounded kind of nice. Yeah, I am, Lex, I am. Thank you so much. Yes, we are 19 weeks to, as of today, actually. We're almost at the halfway point, which is very nice. And I mean, I'll step in for anyone who needs it. Very funny, Amanda. Yes, definitely. Basically, I'm gonna have to do the group Roll for Slime, whether the people are there or not, and just record it for them and post it because it's got to get done. You know what I mean? So they got to get it. I posted a warning. I was like, hey, y'all, if you're in the group and you don't come to the live, you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's how the group one works, you know? So we're doing it one way or another. Because there's a lot of people in that tier who need slimes. So that's what's up. But let's read chapter 21. People also need to be respectful of your schedule, and everybody knew you were leaving. Yeah. No, everyone's been great, Sophie. I have to say, there's nobody who hasn't been
respectful of it at all. Nobody. I don't even have one person who has been weird about the fact that I'm doing this, because I think it's because I usually work every single day and I don't I don't really take days off at all. So I think everyone is just like pretty chill about it. It's not like I'm going away for like a super long time, you know what I mean? It is almost 2 weeks, but like that's not an unusual amount of time for a honeymoon or anything like that. So yeah, it'll be exciting. Dude, if anybody has any requests for things that they want to see while we're there, please tell me, because I am so excited to go to these little crazy fairy tale towns in the Alps and like, I don't know, like show you guys everything that's there. I think it's gonna be so cute. Yes, that is weird. Once it got up to 3 people per month, Ray, that was where I kind of drew the line, and I was like, I'm gonna have to put the kibosh on this, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? Am I right? You know, just is what it is. But anyway, yeah, all the things, Jen. All the things are correct, Jen. And Jen, did you get my message about Venmoing? Also, Jen, you are at the group roll for slime tier. Or do you still need a September, or did we do your September already? I can't actually remember. 3 a month. Yeah. I wasn't like, if it was just one person a month, I was like, whatever. It's not worth changing the system, because like my time is worth more than that. But once it gets up to like 3 and blah blah blah, it's like, meh, meh, meh. You know what the really sad thing is, you guys? I'm not going to name any names, but 3 of the people who have done it are very well-known slime reviewers in the community. Yeah. And that was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, because it's like, what you doing here, bro? Yeah, I'm not gonna name any names, not here, not privately, not anywhere. But, oh, really, Jen? Oh gosh, that's really sweet. No, I won't be naming names, but I will say that 3 of the people who have done it are reviewers who buy slime very frequently. Not Arbitrary Canary, don't even say that, it's not her. There's no world, you guys know she's still on there, and there's no world where Arbitrary Canary would do that. She and I are like buddies. But yes, it was Anya. Guys, Anya was all 3 of the people, in case anyone is wondering. Anya and her plentiful slime reviews and all the slime she buys from all the places. For anyone who's new and doesn't know us, that's a joke. Anya didn't do anything wrong. I know everyone who's a regular knows, but in case anyone pops in here. Yeah, it's weird, Naisa. I had heard something right before it happened. It was very weird. I like heard rumblings right before it happened about some reviewers like doing shady stuff to try to get free slime from Slimers. And I was like, really? That person? No way. And then it happened to me. And I was like, dang. And I went back to the person who told me that, and I was like, I'm sorry I doubted you. You were right. And they were like, And I was like, I'm sorry. I was the doubter in this situation, because I was like, Amanda, I was like, I'm shocked. No way. Not these people. But yeah, Valerie, a couple of the times it has been newer people, but a solid 3 over the summer were reviewers. Me either, Sophie. There is no world where I would do that. Like, I mean, I don't even do that to like I even, when my glue breaks and it comes in the mail broken and I have to email, I always tell them, I'm like, hey, I can tell you how to fix this so you don't have to give me a refund in the future. I can tell you how to pack this properly. I know how it would work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never like cheating the system. Even when my glue comes literally broken and spilled all over the box, I'm like, you don't have to keep breaking it. I'll, you know, I'm not looking for free stuff. I'd rather have a clean box. And they don't listen. I don't know why. But, and I hope you all agree with me on this one, I would rather be the person who gets cheated than the person who's doing the cheating 10 out of 10 times. Because I just could not fathom the idea that I was cheating someone out of something. Doesn't work for me. It makes me feel yucky. So if it happens to me, okay. No, we won't be letting them back in, Amanda. No, definitely not. Yeah, it's too bad luck. It's too bad karma. I don't like it. It doesn't feel nice. Feels yucky in my soul. You know what I mean? That's why, like, obviously, you guys know, like, if anyone's stuff breaks, or if even I make a mistake on like someone's order or whatever, like there have been times when I like accidentally skip something, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna send you 2 to make up for it, and like I didn't mean to skip it, you know. Like sometimes, you know what it is, secondhand embarrassment for sure. What happens sometimes on Patreon is that if you change tiers in the middle of the month, sometimes it neglects to alert me. And so then I don't see until the new month that someone's at a different tier. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you were supposed to get XYZ last month. I didn't even notice. And they're like, I figure you'd get to me eventually. So usually it's people who are chill about it, but I'm never purposely skipping anyone's thing. It's just like, the system isn't perfect. Like I love our Patreon system. I love it, but there are flaws and there are things I wish that I could adjust, but it's the best that we have given the circumstance, and it does give us a better sense of privacy for our community, which I know people on the outside they probably don't think is necessary, but the further we get into it, the more necessary it really feels, because I mean, I'm sure a lot of you feel this. The outside world is yucky a lot of the time, and I like having this very insular, yeah, of course. Nobody thinks that, Valerie. That's the great thing, Amanda and Valerie, but no one has thought that I did it on purpose. Everyone who I've accidentally skipped, and it's usually like a week or 2 into the next month or whatever, usually when I message them, they're like, oh, I figured you'd get me the next time. Like they just assume I'm gonna pick it up, and I do. So it's been fine. But, you know, yeah, what Whitney said, the world outside isn't kind, and, yeah, that's right, Anya. That's right. She said, I watched the reviews. For anyone who's watching this back later, she said, I watched the reviews, but when it gets to a point where the criticism trumps the knowledge, it's weird. And it is. Well, yeah, the football thing is different. It's true that the way I freaked about fully, right? Yeah. You got to take a leap of faith about that kind of stuff, right? Just jump right in. None of us, except for like 3 people, really know football in this fantasy league, but we're doing it for fun. And like Amanda said, I think Amanda said this in our chat about fantasy football. What she said was, it kind of doesn't matter that the rest of us aren't as good at it as she is. She's excited to have some of her friends involved in something she loves so much, which is one of the really great things. Exactly. Safe space for people to talk. That's why we have that chat. The if you need a shoulder to cry on chat is specifically supposed to be a safe space. And I think it has worked. I don't know anyone who's had a bad experience in there, because we've managed to keep it pretty, everyone in there is pretty mama bear, you know, even those of us who aren't moms are mama bear about the people in there. Yeah, so it's very interesting. The other thing about what Amanda and Anya are saying right now about the criticism in slime reviews is I think that everybody wants to have something to say about the slime that they're playing with, so they're being critical insofar as they don't want to just be like, well, this one was great, because then the video's over and they don't have anything to say about it. But the majority of people who buy slime and review slime haven't gone through the process of making them. And making slime is very different than playing with slime. And I know you all know this because you've done classes and stuff, but I think people don't realize the nuance that there is in, yes, negativity gets views. That's exactly right. Naisa's correct. Negativity does garner views. You know, there's going to be something on TV tonight that is pure proof of that, right? Won't say what it is because we don't need to get flagged, but and it makes a huge difference, Valerie. I think you're right. And the reason I say that, 2 things. First of all, and a lot of you know this because I've talked about it before, but back in the day, the only people pretty much who did slime reviews were other Slimers. And the reason for that was not for criticism. In the beginning of this version of the slime community, back in like 2015, 2016, 2017, the reason people sent their stuff to other people for review was to get critiques and improve and to build the community, right? So like Mina Slime Hive, who's maybe still in the room, maybe isn't in here right now, was someone I sent my slime to early on for review because she was a pillar of the community and I wanted to know what she thought of my product. I didn't ask her to promote it, I didn't ask her to buy anything, but hearing her talk about the slimes gave me insight, you know what I mean? Because even though Mina is never negative, she doesn't do negativity, if she comments on one thing and not another, I had to wonder, well, why isn't she mentioning this? Maybe that part needs a little bit of improvement. And maybe, you know what I mean? And when I used to do reviews, I gave them in the same teacherly way I do everything else, which was, here are the things I like the most, and here are a couple of things where you could improve. I never said it like, well, this sucks. I would be like, you know, it could use a little bit of XYZ, whatever that may be. And it's never in an artistry sense. It was always in a like, I can't get this out of the jar because of the jar you used, or whatever like that. You know, those kinds of things are important to tell people about. So yeah, there's a big difference between negativity versus constructive criticism. But then people started reviewing them that don't make them, which is fine. That is their right. Anyone who purchases anything has the right to review it. I would never say that they don't. But I do think it would be interesting if they had a moment to try to make one of the things, you know what I mean? It's very interesting. Yeah. I think they might find a very different life. You know, like Chelsea, who was the very first person to like make an account that was just reviews. Her account was Honest Slime Reviews back in the day, and she was known for always making completely honest reviews no matter how much she liked the person who sent her the slime. That was like her whole jam, and it was a novel concept at the time. I know now that seems like duh, but it was very novel. And about a year into doing that, people asked her, well, since you've touched so many slimes, why don't you make some slimes and let's see, you know, let us buy slimes from you. And we did, and she did end up making slimes, but she said that you know, obviously making the slime and running the business part of it is so much harder than just playing with them and review them. And that seems like a duh, right? Like we're all in I'll be my own reviewer. I know what's good and what's not. Yes, exactly. You rarely actually see proof of the negative type reviews. You seem to like to be only the one. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the other thing about reviews that I will say, and this will be my last thing that I say on it so that we can read. I think we have to remember that once you get to a certain level of creating things, books, crafts, whatever it may be, most review is personal preference, right? So there's a difference between getting a slime that is legitimately bad, okay, right? So for example, one time when I was doing the slime reviews, a slime came to me with mold on top of it, right? That's bad. That's not good. You can't give slime to someone that has mold on it. That is legitimately what we would call a problem, right? So I didn't post a review of that slime. I emailed the person privately and I said, hey, I know I promised you a review. Here's the reason I'm not following through with my promise. It's because I don't want the internet to drag you. So I'm not gonna show this. I'm gonna throw it away quietly and we're gonna pretend it never happened. You know what I mean? They weren't happy that I said that, but I said, trust me, I have too many followers, and if I post a slime that has mold on top, you are not gonna be happy with the result of your review. Even if I say the slime is good, it's not gonna matter, right? So like, there's a difference between a bad slime that has actually gone bad, or let's say, for example, a block bead slime that doesn't hold the beads at all, or something like that. I'm just making stuff up like that. You can call it old bread, that's very funny. There are a number of things that could be considered bad in slime. There's a difference between that and your personal preference. Like for me, I don't like wet jellies and ices. Does that mean that my friends, of which there are plenty, who make their ices and jellies wetter slimes are making bad slime? No, they're just making different slime. It's not a bad slime, it's just a personal preference. I have texture sensitivity issues with clothes, with food, with everything. And I know that about myself. So when I get those slimes from those people, I don't say, yikes, this slime is bad because it's wet. I say, if you are like me and you have texture issues, this might not be your favorite, but look at all the good things it can do for people who do like those kinds of slimes, right? Because there's a significant difference in someone who doesn't have the touch issues I have. All slime is badass, that's right. So, you know, when you're watching reviews, just be mindful of those things, because there aren't really that many differences amongst the slimes. I mean, rephrase, not textures. No, we're just talking about slime stuff, Mary. I'll jump into the book in 2 seconds. There's a lot of differences in textures, but between people making slime, yes, be very mindful, very demure, and you know, it's just I think the coolest part about it, and this has always been the case for me, and I don't know how everyone else feels, but since day one of being in the slime community, obviously I love slime. You guys know that. I thought I would hate it because of reviews, but I love it. Yeah, you know what? Everyone is different. Some people don't like the feeling of stuff on their hands. Becca hates it, you guys. And it's not because Becca doesn't like me. You know what I mean? She just doesn't like the feeling of that stuff on her hands. And that's okay. I don't take it personally, and neither does the slime. You know what I mean? But like, as much as I love slime, I will always say 10 out of 10 times, joining the slime community in 2016 definitely saved my life in a lot of ways. And the women who I became friends with early on in that, all adults, you know what I mean? Everyone thought it was just kids in the slime community, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case. But we couldn't have lived if we hadn't had each other during that time, throughout lockdown, all of those things. And so I always hesitate to be negative about any of it, because it's like, well, every single bad slime led to something good here. You know what I mean? Yeah, jelly's great. Oh, listen, you're never gonna hear me complain about jelly, especially when it's a dry jelly, Mary. My new jelly recipe, I could play with from here to doomsday. Old jellies that were like wet and yucky, a lot of people love them. They are not for me personally, and again, that is 100% due to my fingers and the way that it connects to my brain. There's like very clearly something wrong with my brain when I touch wet slimes. I'm like, I can't do it. Some people love it. God bless. No judgment. I hope you enjoy your wet slime. I can't do it. That's all I have to say about the matter. Definitely, Jack. There will be some coming soon. Yes. Okay. Let's read. I put some Disoclay in a tough putty I made, and then it loosened up with a clear base. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love it. Frog Spawn, give me. Amanda, are you so excited for Nemo's siblings? Just a heads up, actually. If anyone sees yellow block beads for sale anywhere, I've been searching like crazy for yellow block beads in large quantities. I really want to make a yellow brick road slime for our Wicked restock, but I cannot find yellow block beads, and I feel like I can't make a yellow brick road without yellow block beads. I'm struggling. So if anyone sees any, I've asked all my suppliers, no one has them in stock. On Amazon, they only sell them in packs of like nothing, and it's too expensive that way. But if anyone sees them out there, please link me, because I will be making a yellow brick road good hurt if we can find them. If we can't find them, we'll skip it and we'll make it again next time when the next movie comes out. Anyway, chapter 21. There are plenty of things to dislike about corporate company bullshit, like inspirational all-hands meetings, appreciation pizza parties instead of raises, and the word synergy as a whole. But it's hard to dislike the open bars at swanky quarterly parties Scroll throws for employees. Tonight's Scroll into Spring mixer is going to be held at an uppity rooftop bar and boasts everything from said open bars to photo booths and the chance to win exciting prizes that are also not raises. It was a Scroll party that started my entire relationship with Cade. Clearly, Scroll parties do not lead to good life choices. I can tell tonight is going to be different. I spent years needing to be seen, trying to grab whatever pocket of spotlight I could, but tonight I know I'll have the chance to bask in it. In the wake of our appearance at Conspiracy, we saw a small bump that we expected to plateau, but our numbers have kept growing. Our backlist saw plenty of action too. Our comments section filled up minutes after posting a video. Our social media posts are garnering everything from "oh my god" to "stop" to "I shipped this so hard." The fandom is still torn on what our ship name is, but Hayley, Haylie, tends to win out and seems to fit better in a weird white lady's pregnancy announcement way, or what someone incorrectly shouts when my Starbucks order's ready. Oh, she just told us how to pronounce the name. It is Hallie, because she said Hayley is wrong. Maybe gold. Yeah, gold would work, Whitney. Yeah, I haven't seen them though. I don't know if block beads come in gold. I have not seen them. I would use them. If they do, I'll do it. If I can't find the block beads, maybe I'll make it a bingsu. I don't know. If Scroll were to pick a winner right now, we'd be full speed ahead on planning season 2. If Jack were a girl, he would have been Hayley. Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna run out of questions. I know, right? She answers them all in the book, but we'll still tell her how much we love her. So I know you didn't ask, but that is, wait, sorry, wrong voice. I don't know. I found Marigold. Oh, Jack, will you link me? Because I'll check it out and see. So I know you didn't ask, but that's why I have Zach Baggins blocked on all forms of social media. Hayden concludes the tangent that I indeed did not ask for as he runs his fingers through his hair. We're crammed into his tiny bathroom together and the air smells like hairspray, heat-damaged hair, and more expensive, sharp, citrusy musk of his cologne that he only whips out for special occasions. Oh, anyone who finds them, link me for sure, because I've only been able to find them in very small quantities. So if you found them in larger than like 100 pieces, I'll take it, because we need like 1,000 pieces at minimum. That would be like bare minimum. Right. I've lowered my mascara wand for the time to lessen the chances of no, Slimy Palettes is out of stock on them. She is I've messaged her. She's out of stock on yellow. I bought all the colors that she has currently, which is a bummer. I lowered my mascara wand for the time being to lessen the chances of an eye makeup catastrophe in the middle of his tirade. Well, you showed him, I guess. Hayden meets my eyes in the mirror and his eyes track down my body, taking in my outfit for the evening. There's so much joy in the fact that Hayden likes me in whatever I wear, but also I like the look of hunger in his eyes as he studies the off-the-shoulder blue dress that I have on. The only thing that feel better than his gaze would be his hands all over me. What? I tease. Do I look good or something? Yeah, well, I don't hate it, that's for sure. Perfect, Jack. That's actually great. I feel his voice against my bare shoulders with the brush of scruff along my skin, and then he finishes it with his lips. I lean into him, and the satin of my dress meets the sharp crinkle of his black button-down. The sleeves are rolled to the center of his forearms. The knot deer on his arm crosses in front of me, claiming me as his. You're gonna mess up my hair and makeup, I whisper into his lips. I whisper as his lips climb the side of my neck. I think, as Scroll's hottest show at the moment, we can afford to be a few minutes late to the party. His voice comes out as a near growl, so low that it hooks something in my stomach and pushes me toward him, has me pushing him toward the door and into his room. I fall onto his comforter, enveloped in the taste, smell, and feel of him as I catch his lips on mine. Our kiss tastes like fresh brushed teeth and fruity lip gloss, and each one is the best kind of drowning. Little room to come up for air before I'm tasting him again and dying for the soft, heady moans that come from the back of his throat. Hayden's hand grips my thighs and teases under the hem of my dress, and he works his way down my legs, sliding his fingers behind my knees and hooking my legs around his body. Every intimate moment with Hayden is a eureka in and of itself, and when he kisses me, I realize this is how it should be. With each laugh and giggle, when someone elbows each other, I know that I don't need to impress him, because it's just me that he wants. It's him that I want too. This is what everyone always talks about and yearns for. And if we do get in trouble, he breathes against the curve of my neck, I'm gonna blame you for it. Rude! I laugh and smack his shoulders. What? You're the rude one, looking as beautiful as you do right now. All right, well, you're not half bad either, I tell him. And he does look good, and I think he knows it. It's amazing what a little hairspray can do for a man. His dark waves are fluffed higher than usual, and usually how his hair looks is some mild to moderate beep boop activity, and he's kept his beard trimmed into a strategic 5 o'clock shadow. I kiss him one final time before sliding out from beneath him, and I push the finishing touches on my look while I put the finishing touches on my look while he feeds Cthulhu and hails the Uber to the bar. The rooftop bar is decorated with lined plants and globe lights. What are lined plants? I could understand saying lined with plants, but it says decorated with lined plants. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, the rooftop bar is decorated with lined plants and globe lights stroking against the night sky. Scroll has infiltrated the bar with pop-up photo spots and gimmicky props. There's an open bar at every corner, and we hit the nearest one. Funky indie beats blast over the city and the hums of cars stuck in traffic. Typical LA. Across the rooftop, Nora and Jamie have stationed themselves in the photo booth, and her propping a fedora on his head as he lovingly drapes a neon pink boa over her shoulders. It's hard to read Jamie sometimes, with his quiet stares and deliberately chosen words, but around Nora, but around Nora, he's an open book, happy, vibrant, like she's unlocked a box full of all the things he tries to keep under wraps. Drinks in hand, Hayden and I decide how we want to tackle this. He doesn't know many people, and Scroll has never been a firm 9-to-5 type of office, so I see most people in passing. But the truest shock is when we don't even get to pick who we talk to first, because there's a line of people who want to talk to us. Other producers that I've worked with over the years express admiration for how well I've transitioned from behind to in front of the camera, and everyone wants to meet Hayden. It's how I discovered that many of my coworkers are Cosmic Conspiracy fans who have relatives who did camping trips to hunt for Bigfoot too, and who visited Roswell and claim that they have seen a UFO before. It doesn't take long for Chloe to push through the crowd and reach us, and she meets me with a hug and pats Hayden lovingly on the cheek as if she's known him for years. Clearly, she's 3 martinis deep in happy hour already. "Oh, look at you guys," she says, and I'm suddenly aware of Hayden's fingers woven between mine. It's where Chloe's eyes go too. Well, I can't say I saw this when you pitched me a show about hunting for ghosts, but I wonder if she means our success or the blossoming relationship between us. Honestly, neither did we. Hayden agrees. We may not have found Bigfoot yet, but I think we found something really good. Chloe softens. Well, there's a reason your show is doing so well. It's because of the two of you. You have something. I don't know what it is, but there's something magnetic about your chemistry. I think a lot of people wanted to see you two succeed. Oh, Champ? Oh, this guy coming? All right, you need to call him Champ, I whisper to Hayden. Hayden's eyes widen and then narrow. You mean like the lake monster? No, absolutely not like the lake monster. I stiffen as she ushers Champ Kevin over to our group. He hardly comes up to Hayden's shoulders, and he's dressed like he's trying to be cool, trendy in skinny jeans and a white t-shirt and a leather jacket, holding a can of hard kombucha. But it doesn't matter. I tell him he looks good anyway. Champ, you of course know Hallie, Chloe says, and Kevin offers me a half hug and a kiss on the cheek, telling me I look wonderful, and this is her new partner, Hayden. Ah, the real man in black himself. They exchange an unbalanced and manly handshake. Huge fan of your father's work too. It was such a loss when he passed. Hayden bristles beside me, and obviously I'm really sorry for your loss as well. Oh, thank you, Hayden says. I like to think he'd be proud of what we're doing these past few months. The ghosts and the monsters were always his thing. You know, I liked the idea when Hallie first pitched it, but I wasn't entirely certain how people would respond to it. And it turns out people really do like this sort of content. I never would have guessed that. Yeah, I never would have expected I'd be so happy hunting for Bigfoot either, I add. So it's really not an act? Kevin asks me. Like, you really don't believe any of this stuff? It's absolutely not an act, Hayden says, sipping his drink. Champ, I promise you I'm not nearly that good of an actress. He lets out what I can only think to describe as a snicker. It's weird, and it makes Hayden let out a nervous laugh because he's not sure how to respond either, but a snicker from Kevin is a good sign. Hell yes for snickers. And to think we were hiding you behind cameras this whole time. He crosses his arms and his eyes are wide in bewilderment. I know you were so busy helping Kate all those years, but Kevin should consider a career in demon summoning, because just as he says the name, Cade exits the elevator with Scroll's new social media manager on his arm. She can't be more than 23 to his 30 with full lips and a tiny waist and a killer pair of hips. She looks like she came right out of a sponsored Instagram picture. Someone as gorgeous as her could have anyone she wanted. My stomach clenches, and I feel like I should have warned her about what a monster he is. Immediately, this a-hole spots Kevin and infiltrates our conversation. I reach for Hayden's hand as Kate approaches us, and Hayden's fingers curl around mine in a way that tells me nothing can hurt me. I love the safety that he offers, but I know I'm strong enough to hold the net up myself. Kate is only a monster if I let him into the closet or under my bed. Champ! Kate coos at Kevin, and they embrace in a garishly corny hug with large back slaps for some goddamn reason. It's so good to see you, my man! And as if they don't see each other several times a week in the office. Oh, and you too, Chloe. Cade? Chloe acknowledges, but she acknowledges her gin and tonic far more, as a matter of fact. Caden turns back to his date. Babe, will you grab me a vodka soda, please? His date looks ready to say something or enter the conversation, but when Hayden's eyes narrow with a sickly sweet glare I know so well, she backs away and goes to wait in line at the bar. We know you know Hallie, Kevin says. Yeah, a little too well, Cade says, nudging Kevin's arm. I'm just kidding. I've met her new partner, too. Oh, yeah, well, we were actually just talking about you. Oh, really? What about? Well, really about Hallie, actually. Kevin course corrects, and Cade deflates, the life fading from his sparkling eyes. We were talking about how she was working with you for so long, but she was never the star of the show, you know? She'd pop up here and there, but she was never center stage, and I just can't believe that. We had this star on our hands the whole time, and we didn't even know it. Kevin talks about me like he's discovered gold in them there Hollywood hills, and Cade is nothing more than another dull rock. I know the look of rage in his eyes, a calm facade, the eye of a storm before whipping winds wreak havoc. He won't cause a scene here, at least. Yep, it's true. I mean, Chloe, Hayden starts, you remember how that first episode went? I was just wooden as hell until Hallie stopped in. The Out There would have been canceled after like 10 seconds without her. Oh, come on, I say. I knew you had something magic in you. I didn't pick you out from Cosmic Conspiracies for no reason. You being astonishingly pretty was only like 75% of my rationale. Yeah, I sure misled you on that acting part. That first episode was abysmal, Hayden says. Oh, that isn't true, Chloe says, and then reconsiders. Okay, well, the first episode without her was a little rough. So rough, Hayden replies, and he glances over at Cade. It totally explains how you got the platform you did, Cade. She's brilliant on camera or off, so I can imagine how lucky you would be to have her guiding you to stardom all those years. My God. He's gone right for the jugular. I try not to smile, but the pride I feel is ready to burst out of my chest. Hayden might be right. The reason Cade has what he does is because of me. He was just the pretty topping to all of it, but none of the ingredients. Cade bites down on his lip, eventually setting on a resigned, tight smile. Yeah, of course, thanks to Hallie, no doubt. I lean closer to Hayden, and his hand slips back to my hip, visibly, so that Cade can see that his hands are on me. His lips meet the side of my head, and my fear about being spotted with him and flashing our relationship out in the open dissipates as Chloe coos and Kevin looks happy as a weird little clam. I have to tell you, Kevin begins, it is so inspiring that you and Cade have maintained such a strong professional relationship and that stunning careers like yours have all bloomed out of Scroll. That's what Scroll is all about. No, Scroll is about clickbait and sponsorships, I think. And I am so happy to see 2 of our exceptional shows out here tonight. Obviously, every show in the program is spectacular, but the numbers we're seeing from both Newbie Brothers and the Out There are just fantastic. It's really going to be hard to choose just one. Oh, yeah, I don't envy you, Kate adds. You got a tough decision to make, but it's a testament to how skilled you are at finding superb talent, champ. I really mean that. My stomach churns hearing him kiss Kevin's ass like this. He won't hurt Kevin like he hurt me, like he's probably bullying poor Maddie right now just to get extra posts on Scroll's social, but it sucks to see another person fall into his web. There's no person that Cade doesn't view as a potential piece of prey to feed his ego. Oh, we're looking forward to the rest of the seasons, though. Kevin finishes raising a glass, and we'll see where the show goes. We clink glasses in the middle, and Cade's eyes wander over to me. I want to tell him I know what his game is, and no matter what he does, Hayden and I are going to beat him. I stand tall, and even as he tries to strip down my defenses with his glares, I don't let him claim victory over me. He isn't going to beat our show, either. Hey, champ, if you don't mind, Kate interrupts, I have something timely I'd love to have a word with you about. Kevin, like the obedient puppy he is, agrees. Chloe quickly whisks, Chloe's quickly whisked away, and once we're alone again, I let out a deep breath. Hayden rubs the small of my back and takes a long sip of his drink. We're gonna crush that asshole, is all he says, and his inner angry Boston man is coming out in the party. I clutch a handful of his shirt and step closer so that I'm standing on my toes to reach his lips. Oh, you know we are, I say with a kiss, and we schmooze our way through the party, and the popularity doesn't wane. As more co-workers arrive and the drinks get flowing, it seems like maybe we should set up an autograph table or something. People who flock to Cade at every other party give him just a passing wave on their way to us now. We take a few photos in the photo booth with Nora and Jamie, and I imagine that the strip is going up on the corkboard beside Hayden's bed. Oh, that's actually very sweet. When Hayden and I part so that he can use the bathroom, I form an alliance with the food table and the last coconut shrimp, where I'm actually a little grateful to take a break. Wait, that's an amazing line. And any introvert who has ever been to a party where you feel like there's too much going on knows what it feels like to form an alliance with the food table. You're like, I'm very slowly going to put together a plate. I can't decide which cheese I want. Maybe one of each. Okay. It's hilarious. We've all done it, right? Oh God, it's so real. It's so real, Grayson. It's all of us, you guys. The food table is the best guest at the party. That's true. It's true, Jack. The food table is the best guest at the party. We've been so busy being the talk of the party that I missed all the mini spring rolls being paraded around. Damn it. Oh, that's the worst. Don't miss the spring rolls, you guys. If you see a spring roll going by, you grab a spring roll. You get your spring roll, girl. I'd watch out if I were you. A chill runs up my back. Your dress is already looking a little tight. Cade's touch runs along the curve of my hips before he circles around me and leans against the table. I'm suddenly glad that I haven't had much of a chance to eat because I might be sick if I allowed Cade a win, and I suck in a breath and turn to him. Do you really want your new girlfriend to see you touching some other girl? He chuckles and mischief brims in his eyes. Somehow, I think that she'll be okay with it. She's like you were a couple of years ago. I hope she stays a nice girl, though. You sure didn't. She's pretty. She's out of your league. So I should be with someone more like you? Just average? When I don't have a response, he drops the joking act and steps closer to me. I know what you're up to, Hallie. This game that you two are playing. What game is that, Cade? The one where I beat you in the program fair and square? Is that what you're so scared of? Is that why you lash out every time I get to win over you? I step closer to him, and since I'm in my heels, our eyes are almost evenly met. There's no big and small now. Cade doesn't know what to do when he can't punch down. Are you terrified that everyone will find out it was me making you look good all those years, that you have very little to stand on without me, and that your talent is running out? Do you have anything to stand on aside from spreading your legs for every... Cade quiets as Hayden slips his arm around my back again. Cade, Hayden says. His voice is icy and sharp as a knife. He shed the easygoing and charismatic host persona that he's been carrying so well all night. Now this is someone who knows the worst things Cade's done to me and brushes the lies that Cade tells about me off as easily as I brush off his wacky theories. Sorry, yeah, Hallie and I were just catching up. Cade takes a step closer to me before his hand can rise to toy with one of my curls. Hayden's hand shoots out and clutches Cade's wrist. Did Hallie say that you could touch her? Cade holds his hand up in surrender and laughs. Damn, you're awfully protective of a girl who's only using you to beat me. You do know that's what's going on, right? She doesn't actually care about you or your show. She probably doesn't care about any of this. She won't if you two don't win the program. I still, and I watch Hayden's eyes darken as Cade continues. I warned you, dude. Cade continues. Hallie's a tough one to work with, a tough one to love. Being with her, it's a bad choice, man. I can't break my composure now, no matter how badly I want to. Tough to love sounds so much worse than tough to work with. Tough to work with means unbearable parts of me can go off duty, but tough to love. I think I could make my own choices and my own bad choices. Thank you. Oops. Thank you very much, Hayden says. So far, the only bad choice I've made was starting a conversation with you. Hey, I'm just trying to temper your expectations, man. One day she'll leave you just like she did me, and she'll find another ladder to climb and scroll, start fresh. Hayden's entire body radiates heat and anger. His fingers tighten around the fabric at my hip. When you can't deliver her a win, trust me, she'll be over the effing conspiracy theory she found on Reddit real fast. Hayden finishes his drink and sets the glass on the table with a harsh thump. You can say whatever you like about me. I've heard it already, and I don't lose sleep over the opinions of a 30-year-old frat boy, but you leave her out of it. I've never heard his voice slip this deep before. There is no lovable sleepy rasp from last night's recording or research, or the lazy mornings where we lay in bed for too long. It's deliberate and chilling in a way that makes Cade blink faster and take notice of how much larger Hayden is than him. If one of them were to throw punches, I know who I'd have my money on. I could grab another drink and sit around and tell you... hold on. Wrong voice. I apologize. I could grab another drink and I could sit around and tell you how much I care for Hallie, how special she is, and what an idiot you are for mistreating her, but you wouldn't listen. So I'm not going to waste my breath. I can't believe I've already wasted it on this much of a conversation. Hayden slips behind me, creating a barrier between Cade and me. If I hear you're trying to hurt her, so help me God if you ever lay a hand on her. What? Cade chuckles. What'll you do? Scroll's still pissed about Eric's legal trouble. Wouldn't want either of us getting canceled over her. Trust me, she's not worth it. Hayden, I interrupt. He's right. We are too close to F this up. Way too close. No matter how much I want to see Hayden punch Cade, the only thing worse than losing to Cade is losing to Cade over something stupid. Finally, the tension breaks and Hayden steps away from Cade, and I usher him out of the confrontation, but he quickly jerks back towards Cade. Oh, and just so you know, Maddie, your date, I let her know if she's looking for someone who knows how to satisfy a woman, she might want to look elsewhere. He slips an arm around my back. You know, I'm just trying to temper her expectations. Come on, Hallie, I have some ideas about season 2 I want to run by you. Cade seethes and drops his glass on the appetizer table and skims the party for Maddie, who evidently isn't there anymore. And for a moment, I think that Hayden might have actually told Maddie that he's terrible in bed. I can't imagine what kind of open bar conversation that was. Well, if that's how you're gonna be, Cade says, and then he backs away and heads for the elevator. I cling to Hayden until he's gone, and then we both let out a sigh of relief before he turns to me. Hey, are you okay? He cups the side of my face and he's surveying every micro-expression to figure out where his help is needed. It's like he'll never understand that his presence alone helps more than he'll ever know. Yeah, I'm fine. Are you sure you're fine? I nod, and I feel the way I always do after standing up to Cade, equal parts adrenaline and fear of what he'll do to get back at me. But there's nothing that he can do. Hayden and I have Scroll's biggest show, and everyone at this party swarmed to us like mothmen to a flame. As new as it felt to bask in my well-deserved admiration, it felt easier to do it with Hayden at my side. And even if I'm scared to say it and scared to feel it, I am falling in love with Hayden too. I'm falling deeper and deeper into his confidence and bravery and his unwavering support and care, and I'm falling for all of it. And I reason that it's far better than falling for the conspiracy theory that birds aren't real, which he did try to explain 3 days ago by showing me a vine of all things. No, I'm good, I promise. And it's not a lie, not at all. But Hayden watches me for a long, quiet moment, stroking the curve of my cheek. There's still anger in his eyes and a soft shake to his fingers, and it makes me wonder how I could ever question his loyalty or his affection to me. He's so quickly brought to his knees at the mere idea of someone hurting me, and I shift the topic so that he knows I'm okay. Did you really tell Cade's date that he's bad in bed? Hayden breaks a steady face into a proud smirk. I sure did. Really, though? Well, the opportunity was right there. He wraps his arm around my waist and presses a kiss into my forehead. I had to take the chance. Out There, episode number 8, The Kokomo from Hell. Don't be fooled by the beautiful sandy beaches and vibrant sunsets, folks. Hayden and Hallie dig into the mystery history of the Bermuda Triangle, from ship and aircraft disappearances to the rumors that the lost city of Atlantis lies deep beneath the waves. This is not what the Beach Boys were singing about. Hallie. Well, I guess going to Bermuda is out of the question. I was going to suggest it for an end-of-season trip, but Hayden, absolutely not. When I was a kid, my parents tried to do something nice and take me to Disney World, and at first I didn't want to go because I knew the Bermuda Triangle touched Florida. Hallie, so you've never been to Disney World because of the Bermuda Triangle? Hayden, no, I have. they showed me on a map that it was a different part of Florida, and so we went. I had a great time, but then my mom yelled at my dad for telling me about the Bermuda Triangle and freaking me out and traumatizing me to begin with, and then I read a book about it, and I didn't learn about it from him, but anyway, maybe I should have just known divorce was in the cards for them. Hallie, were you really that traumatized by the idea of the Bermuda Triangle? Hey, to be fair, I thought I would have to deal with it a lot more in my life than I have. It doesn't, like, occupy my thoughts that often now. Hallie, oh, good, because I was worried. Hayden, no, you weren't. Wait, what are you doing? Hallie, I'm looking up all-inclusive resorts in Bermuda. Hayden, no. Hallie, look at it. It's so pretty. Come on, why can't we go? Hayden, that's how they get you. They show you a pretty resort where you can get drinks with little umbrellas in them, and then you die. Hallie, damn, I had no idea that the Bermuda Triangle has a master's in marketing. Amazing. Let's see. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have just enough to finish out this week in chapter, so I'm gonna stop there so that we have stuff to get us through the rest of the week, which is exciting since we won't be having her with us on Thursday night, so we don't want to rush for no reason. They're very cute. I am too, right? I love their banter. It's all absolutely wonderful. Like I said, we have Roll for Slime tonight, which is very exciting. And that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. I will see you all for that. Like I said, if anyone has any witchy recommendations for books for us for October, please send them over. Hayden is top 10 book boyfriends. He's really great. I won't be able to roll for slime. That's okay. Anya, we'll see you in the morning anyway. And then post a link to Achieve Your Block Beads. Perfect. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. I will check it out as soon as I get off of here. There will be videos starting to go up. I made prototypes for some of the Halloween slimes, so expect to see videos of those. And just so you guys don't forget, Friday is when Halloween and Wicked pre-orders open. You don't have to order on Friday by any means. You have 2 full weeks to read through everything, decide what you really want. Oh, thank you, Jen. I'll get to that as soon as I get to my computer, and we can work on that. And yeah, everything is going very smoothly. All the stuff is ready to go. I have pretty much all the supplies. Honestly, Jen, green and red are gonna be the big ones because we're heading into Christmas. So if you see any green and red going forward, just get all of it. We'll just take it all. Especially because Roll for Slime on here tonight. Yeah, it should be on here because I don't have any After Dark, so we might as well do it on here. And it'll be a grand old time for everybody. And I think that's kind of everything. I haven't seen green, but I have red. Yeah, red is good. Green, obviously, if you see it anytime soon, is good because I need it for Alpha Butter, which is in the Wicked restock. So if anyone sees green Daiso anywhere, hit your girl up. I think I either have all, like, the supplies that I need for the Halloween stuff is either here or in transit to me. So we're in pretty good shape, y'all. Yeah, that's kind of it. All right, see you guys later.